Hi, and welcome to our TLC No Holds Barred Tax Lien Training webinar. We are very excited with the attendance tonight, and would just like to thank you for the opportunity to share what we think is the safest and most lucrative investment in the United States today. We have an exciting and absolutely incredible training session for you tonight. Before we get started, we just want to make sure that you are settled in. We are going to be going fast and furious to cover as much as possible during this hour and 15-minute training. Get a glass of water, a pen and a pad of paper to take notes. Also, if you have any other windows or programs open, shut those down. If you have a TV on or anything else that could distract you, we highly suggest you turn them off. This way you can fully grasp what we are about to go over. I promise over the next hour, you are going to gain a wealth of information. Just because we have a lot of people on the call tonight, we are not going to assume that everyone is up on what tax lien certificates are and how you get paid. So we're going to start with the basics and then move along from there. Basically, Tax Lien Certificates 101 to level 400. So get ready. Let me explain exactly what a tax lien certificate is and why they can make you so much money right now. A tax lien certificate is a first position lien on a property due to delinquent property taxes. You see, due to the current economic conditions all across the country, millions of property taxes are failing to get paid on time, and the counties need this money more than ever for schools, roads, the police, and fire department. They depend on these funds to provide vital services to their county, so they can't wait on this money. This is where tax lien certificates come into play. By investing in tax lien certificates, you are simply helping out your local counties by temporarily putting up a portion of the money to cover the back taxes on the property. In exchange for that, you will make money two different ways. First, when the property taxes are paid to the county, they send all your money back, plus a guaranteed interest rate of 8 to 36% mandated by law. So you are doing a good thing for the county, and you are guaranteed to make 8 to 36%. Now what happens if the property taxes are not paid to the county? Well, then there is a fortune to be made. If the property taxes remain unpaid, which is certainly happening in these economic times, the county will give you ownership of the property, and all you have to do is cover any remaining property taxes, if there are any due, and any costs associated with them. At this point, the county will eliminate all liens on the property, including, get this, the mortgage. So you are getting the property 100% debt-free. This is all possible because it is written into the law. The counties must collect the property taxes, so they have the authority by law to give you ownership of the property just for covering the costs associated with the taxes that are due on the property, which can be an unbelievably small amount of money. So even if you decide to turn around and sell the property at a discount, you can still make an absolute fortune. Let's look at a few house examples that were acquired through tax lien certificates and then resold for unbelievable profits. The original tax lien certificate on this beautiful brick home in Sun City, Arizona was just $505.85. It was also acquired with the strategies we are going to go over tonight during this training. It was resold for $118,000 by the investor. This 2,788 square foot split level apartment building was auctioned off for the tax lien investment of $1,385. At the end of the redemption period, the investor then took possession and sold the property for about $145,000. The investor of the tax lien on this home invested around $990, and the assessor estimated the property's full cash value at just over $70,000. Ownership was transferred to the lien certificate purchaser, who made some moderate improvements to the property, then turned around and sold it for $196,000. If those extraordinary deals do not get you excited about tax liens, then I'm not sure what will. Tax liens are about earning 8 to 36% interest, which is an incredible return. And if you do enough deals, you could have one of these incredible deals happen to you. Getting a property like you just saw is the bonus to tax liens. Now let's get down to what we are going to cover tonight. We are going to show you how you can safely invest from the comfort of your home through internet tax sale auctions, how you can get started with very little investment capital. In fact, we will show you a tax lien on a home assessed at $145,199, and the lien is just $56.80. That means your investment is just 0.0004% of the assessed value of the home. That is the security you get when you invest into a tax lien certificate. You have already seen some homes that were acquired for less than $1,000, and we have more to show you later. We will cover the most common questions and concerns we get from new members, and the most costly mistakes beginning and uninformed investors make, and how to avoid them quickly and easily. Lastly, we will walk you through step by step of researching some properties from an online tax sale for Lee County, Florida. which should be interesting and get you really excited. They think to themselves, if this is so great, then why isn't everyone doing it? Let me ask you this. Why doesn't everyone do everything that has created financial independence? Why doesn't everyone invest in the stock market? There are people making a lot of money in the stock market, so why isn't everyone doing it? There are people making money with real estate, so why isn't everyone doing it? There are people making money online, so why isn't everyone doing it? Many people also want to lose weight and know that eating right and working out will help them lose weight, but they choose not to make the necessary changes or take action. The bottom line is that they lack the knowledge and action. They know about the stock market, the internet, and real estate, but they don't know how to make money with it. There's a big difference in knowing about something and knowing how to make money with something. That is one reason, and the other reason is that a lot of people just don't know about tax lien certificates. You're on this webinar tonight, but there had to be a period of time where you did not know about tax lien certificates. Something else we get asked a lot is, why would you tell other people about tax lien certificates if it is so lucrative? Even though there is a decent number of people we teach, it doesn't cause us any competition. Every year there's $5 to $7 billion worth of tax lien certificates that are up for auction. Just online, there are over 1 million properties on tax sales that conducted online each year. We just love creating these trainings. We are passionate in helping people, and we actually end up learning a lot from our students, as well as in markets we have not invested in before, or something a county changes, so it helps us as well. Now let's get down to the risks of tax liens. We want to make it very clear that there are risks in tax liens, and I am sure some uninformed investors have lost money. But if you do your due diligence, these risks can be quickly and easily avoided. The one that most people bring up first is bankruptcies. Listen closely. You cannot eliminate a tax lien through a bankruptcy. The only thing that could happen is they might extend the redemption period of the tax lien certificate. Even if they do that, you are still earning 8 to 36% interest on your money. Plain and simple, nothing can eliminate a tax lien certificate, including a bankruptcy. The next thing people worry about is an IRS lien. Let's say I buy a tax lien on a piece of property, and the IRS comes in and puts an income tax lien on the property. It doesn't happen very often, but let's assume that it does. The reason the IRS does it is because they want their money. What they're going to want to do is try to sell the property, but they can't sell the property until they satisfy the delinquent tax lien certificates that are technically owed to the county. The county is not going to give free title on it. They can't eliminate that. Plus, you're going to see when you do your research that there is an IRS tax lien on the property. If you decide you own a tax lien certificate on a property, you want to foreclose and you see the IRS has come in there. They're not taking any action, but they put a lien on it. They're just like any other lien holder, just like the bank. All you have to do is notify them, just like the bank. The IRS actually has rules on this. If you notify us, we get X number of days to come in and do something about it. If we don't, their position is eliminated, just like anyone else. New investors also worry about investing into a property with environmental hazards. If there is a known environmental issue, it's revealed in the research process, because that's public information, and because by law it has to be public information. Some people will say, what if they don't know about it yet? Here's what you do. Avoid industrial properties. Avoid raw land in the middle of nowhere. What you do is stick to single-family residential homes, and you do not have to worry about environmental hazards. What about a clouded title? Again, this is not an issue, and something that you would figure out during your due diligence of the property. What you really need to worry about is investing in worthless and undesirable properties. This is where most mistakes are made, and money is lost by uninformed investors. Always know what you are bidding on. More money is lost by people who bought the wrong property more than any other error. Why does this happen? There are a number of different reasons. Let's assume the address is 123 Jefferson Street. In that county, there are maybe 4 to 7 different streets named Jefferson. Each little town may have a Jefferson Street. How do you determine which 123 Jefferson Street you are looking for? There are a couple of ways. First, if possible, get the zip code for the one you are looking for. If that is not possible, go to the assessor's office and check the parcel number on a plat map, so you know which town the one you are looking for is located. Keep in mind street names will often be repeated in a county. Another way to make sure is to have the assessed value for the land and for the improvements when you are looking for a particular address. In some counties, for vacant land, they use the address of the nearest property, so the vacant lot does not have its own address. If you have the assessed value for land and improvements, and the address you are looking at has a really nice property on it, but that assessed value says there is no improvement, Then look for the nearest vacant lot. We will go through some examples here in a bit. Another common question is, why doesn't the bank always pay off the tax lien? They probably should, but they don't always do. The question is, why don't they? The simple answer is, they don't get notice of the tax lien. Why don't they get notice? Because they do not show up in the title search because they did not record their mortgage assignment. Why didn't they record their mortgage assignment? To save money. A number of years ago, the mortgage companies started trading mortgages like stocks. They would buy a pool of 1,000 mortgages thinking they could trade them at a profit. The cost to record mortgage assignments could run as much as $100 or more per mortgage, meaning they would have to pay $100,000 or more to record their mortgages. Since they planned on trading the mortgages, they chose not to record them. Because of that, they were not in the chain of title and never received notice of the tax lien. Another reason is that many banks closed in the last few years due to the harsh economic times. What happens to those mortgages? Who's keeping up on the property taxes, if anyone? Who owns the mortgage today? Who is managing all of that? Do any of these homes or mortgage companies that went out of business, who can the county notify about someone taking title to the property? Lastly, many people forget that many of the homes in our country are actually paid off and mortgage-free. About 44% of homes in the U.S. do not have a mortgage, so there is no bank involved. With today's technology, an investor can invest from anywhere in the world, and currently a third of all properties sold in tax sales are done through internet auctions, and more counties are going to be moving that direction. Now that we have gone through the risks and most commonly asked questions, let's go through online tax sales and how you can make investments from your computer anytime, anywhere in the country. Let's go to your members area and click on the link Tax Lien and Deed Online Auction Resources. These are all the sites that currently conduct online auctions for some of the largest tax sales in the country. About a third of all properties sold at tax sales are sold online at these sites. Now we are in May, so Florida is actually conducting its auctions as we speak. One of the sites that holds some of the counties for Florida is realauction.com, so let's click on the Real Auction link. Once you arrive at realauction.com, you want to click on Client Sites and then County Tax Lien Auctions. As you can see, the auctions are going on and there are 19 counties on here. For this training, I am going to go to Lee County since I am familiar. Now for every county there are bidding rules, so you should always familiarize yourself with each county's rules. I am just going to preview the items for sale. Okay, so you can see there are 37,988 tax liens in Lee County alone. Now to just show you that this is more the norm than the extreme, let me show you a few more counties. Here is Orange County, which has 24,439 tax liens at auction. Here is Palm Beach County, which has 27,630 tax liens for auction. And one more county. This is Polk County, and they have 35,306 tax liens for auction. For those of you wondering if there were enough tax liens to go around, you can see there definitely is. There are over 5,200 taxing jurisdictions, and this is just 4 of them. We had 37,988 in Lee County, 24,439 in Orange County, 27,639 in Palm Beach County, and lastly, 35,306 in Polk County. That is a total of 125,372 tax liens for auction in just 4 counties. Just to show you there are tax liens for all budgets, I am going to filter by cheapest, and then most expensive, in Lee County. Okay, so we have a lien for as little as $8.55. I'm pretty sure you can't go to a movie for less than $8.55 these days, so money is not a good excuse not to get started. Now I know many of you are asking, why would I buy a lien for $8.55? You may not, but you can, and I have bought liens for $20. The point is to become comfortable with the research process and to be able to pull the trigger. I bet you would feel a lot more confident and excited if you got your money back and the interest, even if it was on a lien for just $20. The whole point is to keep your momentum going, and if an $8.55 lien keeps you motivated and moving forward, then do it. The more liens you buy, the more checks you get in the mail with big profits, or you know your investment is secured by the real estate. So if you don't get that check in the mail, there's a bigger payday coming once you own that valuable property debt-free. And then on the high end for $179,891.39. This is for you big hitters out there. If you did not know, you can actually use retirement accounts to invest into tax liens, if you have it set up correctly. We will get into how you can learn more about that later. Just for the fun of it, let's see what this lien is all about. First, let me explain what the blue asterisk means. It means that there are outstanding tax liens on this property, meaning that they missed last year's tax lien payment as well, and they have not redeemed. Here is the property details. Here is the address, and it has a use code that is marked for multifamily units. We can see that there have been tax liens on this property in the past that were actually paid off. It says here redeemed certificates for, so you can actually click on certificate history to see what interest rate the investor got in the past. For some reason, this complex every year from 2007 to 2011 failed to pay their property taxes on time, so they had a certificate. Many people wonder why someone would be late on their property taxes each year. There really is not a good explanation, but it could be that they have low cash flow and just need the extra time. People miss bills and credit card payments all the time as well. I don't try to waste my time trying to understand it. Instead, I just profit on it. Just look in 2007, 2010, and 2011. The investor got 18% on their money. Tell me where else you can get 18% on your money mandated by law, and if the 18% is not paid, you get a property debt-free. The history shows that this apartment complex will eventually pay the certificate holder off, so for those who want to earn only interest, it seems that this would be likely. Imagine earning 18% or getting this property. I don't want to pour salt in anyone's wounds, but I am sure there are many people on this call who lost thousands, maybe tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands when the market crashed. If your retirement money was invested into this property, you could have earned 18%. How much better off would you be today financially? Hopefully, you are starting to become a believer and understand why we believe this to be the safest and most lucrative way to invest your money. Let's see what this property looks like. I'm going to go back to the property details and find the address. Here's the address. So now I will take this and Google the address. Okay, so one of the first things that comes up is Portofino Apartments. I want to make sure that this is the property that I am bidding on, so I'm going to match this picture with the county assessor's picture as well as do other due diligence. Let's click on the link and find out more. Now, I would do more research before I actually invested into this property, but at first glance, this looks like a property that I would think about if I had this type of investment capital. This is the beauty of the internet. Look how much information I can get in just seconds that can help me eliminate risks and find phenomenal investments. Let's look at some of the pictures of this property. Again, this place looks very nice. It looks nicer than the apartment that I lived in college. Now, you can see they are charging about $1,000 per unit at this apartment complex. So what I would do before making the investment is figure out how many units there are and what the cash flow would be if they were at 60% capacity, which I think is more than reasonable. Now if you scroll through the appraisal details, you can get a structure picture and count how many units we are working with. It looks like there are 32 units in this complex, so if you were at 60% capacity, that would be 18 rented units at approximately $1,000 per month, so $18,000. I think you are way ahead if you get this complex for $180,000, plus foreclosing costs. I bet you some people right now are shocked that you can find these types of investments, but they are all over the county, and there are tens of thousands of them, probably more like hundreds of thousands. You just have to stay consistent with the tax liens, and you will do well. You need to consistently be obtaining lists and participating in auctions. If you are good at anything, then you are consistent. If you have a great relationship, it's not because once in a while you show up and are passionate and loving. It is consistency that makes a relationship work. It's consistency that will bring you financial independence. Not being good for a while with your investments or being good for a while with your earnings. It's consistency that brings in the results you desire. Now for the beginning investor, I always recommend to start with owner-occupied single-family homes. They are very unlikely not to be paid off, so it is a very safe way to get your feet wet. It would be very rare for someone to lose the home they live in to back taxes. Now every county and state is different, but I will walk you through how to quickly find single-family homes in Lee County that are within a particular investment budget. You would just click for search criteria. Then you want to choose input the minimum and maximum face amount, which is the amount of the investment. Then you would scroll down and select the types of properties you want to bid on. Single-family homes are not the only things worth bidding on, as you saw with the apartment buildings. You'll find all sorts of great investments, and you just have to be comfortable in the property enough to say if they do not pay me back my interest, do I want to own this property? I have found great golf courses, office buildings, fully improved lots, and much, much more. I think single-family homes are the easiest place to start because the investments are smaller, and they are very safe in most cases. You just want to avoid the homes that are in very bad neighborhoods and where the tax lien investments are 10% of the assessed value in most cases, and you will be doing well. Okay, so now all we are looking for is single-family homes, and I have sorted them from least expensive to most expensive. As you can see, the cheapest single-family home is just $56.80, so there is still no excuse about not getting started because you do not have a lot of investment capital. That is cheaper than a night out at dinner, and when you start investing, you are learning a valuable strategy that you can use for the rest of your life to build you and your family financial independence. I bet most of you are thinking, I bet that is a dump of a property. Well, let's take a look and see what this property looks like. But before we do, let's see what the largest lien is on a single-family home. Now this is the list of single-family homes arranged from largest tax lien to smallest. Now I know most people on this call do not have this type of investment capital, and I would never want someone, regardless of what they had to invest, start with an investment this large. But I just wanted you to see the range. Let's look at the least expensive, since we looked at the apartment, which was the largest tax lien in Lee County. You can see here a picture of Google Maps. Also, you can see that the property address and the owner address matches. This means that this home is owner-occupied, which is the most likely to redeem and a very, very safe investment. As you can see, the assessed value on this home with a $56 tax lien on it is $145,199. That is simply incredible. That means if you invested in this property, you would either earn your guaranteed interest or get this valuable home. This is Zillow.com, which is a home and real estate marketplace dedicated to helping homeowners, home buyers, sellers, renters, real estate agents, mortgage professionals, landlords, and property managers find and share vital information about homes, real estate, mortgages, and home improvement. You can see which properties near your investment have recently sold, which is the homes that have the yellow arrows. That gives you an idea of the neighborhood and value of the home. Zillow also gives you a Zestimate, which is what they believe the fair market of the home to be. You can also see the square footage and much, much more. Let's see what Zillow has to say about this home. Okay, so it is a 3-bed, 2-bath home that is 2,054 square feet. The estimated value from Zillow is $201,474. Also, you can see the two homes to the left both sold within the last couple of years, and so did the home to the right. They sold for $128,000, $119,000, and $148,000. Let's look at some more liens. This lien is for $241, and again it is owner-occupied. It has had 5 certificates redeem in the past, which means 5 times they have had a tax lien on this property, and 5 times the owner redeemed the tax lien. The history usually tells the future, so if you are the person who does not want to deal with owning property, a lien like this would be a great investment, because you will most likely get redeemed. Let's take a look at the 5 other liens that were redeemed. In 2012, 2011, and 2008, the investors were earning 18% on their investment. In 2009, they earned 12.5%. In 2010, the investor earned 14.5%. Show me anywhere you can earn 18% on your money or get a property. Let's see what the appraiser says about this home. The assessed value is only $15,502. Now from this picture, this does not look like a home that I would want to live in, but I do not look at investments like that. I ask myself, what are the chances I will acquire this property? This owner has redeemed 5 times, and they live in the home. I believe somehow, some way, they will pay off the lien. And for me, if I can earn 18%, or even just 12.5%, it is a solid investment. Now Zillow shows that this is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 854 square foot home, and the Zestimate is $39,842. The home across the street recently sold for $79,000, so I know that if I got this home, I would be able to make a nice profit, since my investment was just under $300. The assessed value on this home is $16,700, and you can see the picture as well as the lot. The last tax lien on this property was awarded at 18% to the investor. Zillow shows that this is a 2-bed, 1-bath home that is 932 square feet, and the Zestimate is $44,460. Here is another owner-occupied home that has a lien for $242.17. Again, there were past liens that have been redeemed, so let's take a look at those. So in 2012 and 2011, the investors were earning 18% on their money, and in 2009, 15.25%. Again, in this economy, look at those amazing returns. Think about where the stock market was back in 2009. Now here's a picture, and the assessed value, which is $22,797. Here is what Zillow says about the property. So this is a 3-bed, 2-bath house that is 1,292 square feet. The Zestimate is $45,863, and you can see multiple properties that have sold recently for around $30,000. Here is another lien for $242.03, which again is owner-occupied. It also has a history of certificates. Again, in 2012 and 2011, the investors invested into the lien for 18%, and in 2009, the investor got it for 12.75%. These are investments that you can make all from home. Imagine if all of your retirement or savings were earning you these incredible interest rates. Think about this now. If they do not redeem, then you acquire the property. Those are the only two outcomes. The assessed value is $20,100. Zillow shows that this is a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, 800 square foot home. The Zestimate is $38,750. If you do not like these investments, then I want to know what your money is doing, because I don't know of anything else where you can earn this type of return. Here's another lien for $245.37, and it is owner-occupied as well, with one certificate redeemed. That one lien was purchased for $257.32, and the investor was awarded 18%. The assessed value is only $8,100, but let's see what Zillow's Zestimate is. The Zestimate is $48,542, so this is why you need to check the assessed value and the potential full market value. Here is another lien that is owner-occupied for $250.81, and it had a redeemed certificate in the past. That certificate was awarded to the investor for 9%. The assessed value is $70,397. And the Zillow's Zestimate is $100,113. Here is another owner-occupied home with a tax lien of $250.81, and it has had 3 certificates redeemed in the past. Now the top investor bid 0%, but Florida is a penalty state, so even though they bid 0%, they would get 5%. The other years, the lien went for 15% and 13.75%. This looks like a very nice home, and its assessed value is $95,603. The Zillow's Estimate is $141,955, and it is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,712 square foot home. Here is another owner-occupied home with past certificates for $252.12. The investors of these liens were awarded 18%, 18%, 13.25%, and 10.75%. All fantastic returns. The assessed value is $32,396, and the Zillow's Estimate is $44,939. This $242 lien is a home that is owner-occupied, and it has had 3 redeemed certificates. The interest rates awarded to the previous investors were 18%, 18%, and 14.5%. The assessed value is $26,903, and the Zillow's Estimate on this 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 918 square foot home is $43,791. Here's a lien for $1,004 that is owner-occupied. It has not had previous liens on it. The assessed value is $84,902, and the Zillow's Estimate is $124,566. That means that your $1,000 investment is protected by a property that is valued at 124 times the value of your investment, so you could earn 18% or gain a valuable property debt-free. Here's another lien for $1,001.03 that has had 2 previous liens that were redeemed. Also, this is not an owner-occupied home. You can see that because the addresses do not match. The previous rates that were awarded to investors were 18%, 7%, and 5%. The assessed value is $26,496, and the Zillow's Estimate is $40,626 for this 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,120 square foot home. Now, I don't want to bore you to death here. I could show thousands of great investments on this, and just keep going, and this is just Lee County. If you want to see more, you can go to realauction.com, but do not start doing that just yet. Let's just do a little recap, just in case anyone on here missed anything. I know I'm super excited about what I went over tonight, and I hope looking at some properties opened your eyes and proved to you the amazing opportunity that is in front of you with tax lien certificate investing. Now, to emphasize this, because it is the most important fact, when you make an investment into a tax lien certificate and have gone through the research process and eliminated all risk factors, there is only two things that can happen, which are, say it with me, you either get all of your investment back plus a guaranteed, locked-in 18 to 36% interest mandated by law, or acquire valuable property for a fraction of its value. There is no gray area. Those are the only two outcomes. Period. End of story. Now, when this training ends tonight, you all have to go back to your daily lives where there are many distractions, and we get caught up in paying bills, taking care of kids, or many other things that distract and divert us from reaching our full potential. You have started your journey to accumulating wealth, and I want you to continue to stay excited, because statistics show that many people who have gone to an educational experience, read a book, went to a seminar or webinar, never put what they learned into action. Have you ever learned something you knew was valuable, but you never actually applied what you learned? I know I have. We have been told a lie, and that lie is that knowledge is power. But knowledge is only potential power. It's taking action that separates those who are successful in making money, and those that just have a nice new talking point for the water cooler to sound smart. To motivate you even more, let's look at some more houses that were acquired through tax liens, and then I have an opportunity for those who have already decided tax liens are for them, but want a little more guidance to make their first investment. This home was secured for a tax lien certificate price of just over $2,000. After the redemption period expired, the lien purchaser foreclosed and then moved into the home as a primary residence with an assessed value of nearly $230,000. An investor purchased a tax lien on this home for $1,714.04, and the county assessor later evaluated the property at approximately $113,000. The property owner failed to pay their taxes the subsequent year, so the investor also purchased that tax lien for $1,729.31, and then, a few months later, redeemed the initial tax lien on this property. The redemption period ended, and the investor filed to foreclose on the owner. The investor paid off all the outstanding liens, totaling $7,065.30, and then resold the property for $105,000. This 1,642 square foot, 3-bedroom home had a tax lien that was purchased by an investor for just about $2,150, then took ownership in foreclosure proceedings and resold the townhome for roughly $155,000. Just think about how one deal like that could change your life. Could you pay off all your debt? Could you retire earlier? Could you take your dream vacation? If you consistently invest into tax liens year after year, you will not only earn 8 to 36%, but you could do deals like these, and then returns are astronomical. For the people on this call who have already decided that tax liens are the best step forward to change your financial future for you and your family, we have a special advanced program to accelerate your learning. We call it our Next Level Training, and it is designed by very experienced mentors to ensure the success of those who join the program. Our Next Level Training is an online library of videos that breaks down each part of the research process, and you would also have unlimited email access to ask questions from our experienced mentors. Let's break down exactly what is in the Next Level Training. First, you get unlimited lifetime access to our e-library that is filled with everything you need to become a highly successful tax lien investor. We will cover our ultimate success formula, 5 keys to achieving your financial goals. We'll cover what happens if the IRS gets involved, what happens in a bankruptcy, a state-by-state tax lien guide, our proprietary research process. We even walk you through an entire case study step by step. We will show you how to make money from your home and give you all the sites that conduct tax lien and deed auctions. You will also get all the online resources we use to do research with, and then access to more tax lien case studies and much, much more. Each student will also receive a 30-minute retirement session, so we can show you how to use retirement accounts to invest into tax liens, or if you do not have a retirement account, how to open one, so you can start earning your profits tax-deferred. We will also provide you with a 30-minute strategy session with a startup specialist, so we can personalize a blueprint to get you started investing as quickly as possible. Lastly, and most importantly, you will have unlimited email support for 2 months, so all along the way you can be confident you are investing into a property that you will either earn a phenomenal interest rate or acquire a valuable property debt-free. We know there will be hurdles along the way, And we don't want these hurdles to discourage you from becoming a successful tax lien investor. We will be here every step of the way. Because we are so hands-on with our students, unfortunately we cannot work with everyone on this level. We can only allow 30 students per class, and then we have to start a waiting list. So if you want to become our next success story and accelerate your learning, do not hesitate when we put up the order button. Now there is a tuition for the next level training, but it is less than a college course, and I promise what you will learn will be much more valuable. Normally, for the e-library, we have charged $399, the consultations for $49 per session, and $58 for 2 months of unlimited email support. That would normally be $555, but we want to help more people and do not want the investment to hold someone back. That being said, we have reduced the price to just $29 for everything, and then just a small monthly payment of just $29 for continued unlimited email support, which can be canceled at any time. This offer is limited to action takers. Once we bring on 100 people at this price, we will have to close registration. We are so confident that you will be more than satisfied with your next level training that we offer 100% risk-free guarantee, which states that if after 90 days you have completed the training and you are not completely satisfied with the quality of the information, you may cancel the program and receive 100% of your money back, no questions asked. It's that simple. Besides offering you a 100% risk-free guarantee, we also offer a tuition reimbursement which states if you make $5,000 or more in profits investing into tax lien certificates with documentation, and you are willing to document your story and allow us to use it as a testimonial, we will refund you 100% of your tuition. As we are going to allow you some time to sign up, I want to go through a few more case studies here. While showing these, I want you to think, why not you? And how would just one of these deals change your current financial situation? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain with our 100% risk-free guarantee and tuition reimbursement policy. After the lien purchaser acquired the initial tax lien certificate for just $2,231.42, this home was assessed at $227,364. This 1,000 square foot home with 3 patios and an in-ground swimming pool had a tax lien on it for around $550. The investor then foreclosed on the property and then resold the property for approximately $45,000. A savvy investor purchased the lien on this home for just $362.15, and that same year the assessed value was $37,924. The owner never paid the tax liens off, so after 4 years the investor redeemed all the tax liens totaling nearly $2,400. After waiting the 3-year redemption period to end, the investor was awarded the property. Just a year later, the investor resold the property to a couple for approximately $43,500. This tax lien was purchased in Arizona, so this investor knew that they were either going to earn up to 16% or acquire this valuable property debt-free. There are hundreds of other stories like these, so I can't tell them all or this would go on forever. So just think, if these are only a few of the transactions in a handful of cities, imagine all of the possibilities in cities and states across this country. Join our next level training and take advantage of this amazing opportunity. We want to congratulate those who have taken action and joined, and we want to thank everyone else who has joined us tonight. We will leave the registration open for an additional 5 minutes, and then we will have to close out enrollment.